Kaldenberg, and I'm here today to talk about apps because I'm kind of an app obsessive person. And so I have a ton of apps on my phone, and I like to play with them. So I'm just going to share some of that today. So I'm a retired librarian. I was at Solon Community School District for 12 years, but I've been a librarian forever and played around with geeky stuff. We had a PC Junior, if that tells you anything, one of the very first PCs for the home use. And so my focus here today is going to be on apps on your phone. I'm going to be straight up. Most of these are Apple apps, although if they're Android, if there's an Android that's exactly the same, I have those on the site as well. But there are something like 1 million apps on each one of those on Google Play and on the Apple iTunes site. So none of these that I am showing you today are the only or not even necessarily the best. There's the ones that I know. And it's just to give you an idea that there's just an enormous amount of creative apps out there, and just find what you want and play with them. Okay, so what can you do with photos? How many of you have photos on your phone already? Probably a lot. And maybe you just use them just the way they are. Well, there's tons of things you can do to kind of upgrade or change out or just do creative things with those photos. You can paste cool things to Facebook. How many of you have Facebook? Maybe a few of you. If you have Instagram, you can, if you are following Instagram, you see people are doing this all the time. How many of you text? You type out your little text and maybe you put some emojis. Well, it's really fun to put in some fun pictures too. If you have a Twitter account, it really helps your, it's really good to have a picture when you send out a tweet. It really gets a lot more attention. You can create digital scrapbooks using like Shutterfly or Mixbook, things like that. You can actually use your pictures in a printed scrapbook. You can have them printed out. You can make digital presentations, and that's like PowerPoint, Keynote. I'm sure you've all been to the death by PowerPoint kind of things. And there's, the canned little pictures from Microsoft Art. Don't use those, okay? Create your own. You can make video with stills that you've worked with. You can share your albums online. You can use time-lapse apps to document change. You can even send postcards that are made from your pictures, and you can make canvas prints. I actually brought one of those. Who has Groupon? Anybody? Always Groupons for canvas prints and digital. Okay, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. Okay, so this first one is called Super Photo, and it's free, so it's an awesome app. And I just learned about this like 4 weeks ago. Somebody posted something on Facebook, said I made this with Super Photo. There are hundreds of special effects. Everything from making it a little blocky or infrared. There were so many cool ones that I made 3 slides of pictures of our model, Sam, who's here today somewhere. I love this little one, the Lost, and the dollar bill, and the film. Many, many Sams, Sam like in a pencil drawing, Sam with bubbles, and that's just the tip of the iceberg for all the special effects you can get just with this one free app. This one's called Popsicolor, and it's for somebody who's really creative. What it does is you choose 2 colors, and then you can blend them on your pictures any way you want. Okay, so I just did blue and white for the eagle colors. Symmetry, that does mirroring. Okay, so you put your picture in and you can have it mirror like this or upside down. There's tons of ways that you can basically duplicate your picture. This is another really good free one, and I've had this one forever. It's called 100 Cameras, and it has just tons of effects that you layer over your photo, and then it also has frames. I love this one. It's called Be Funky, and it's free, and it has frames, it has text, it has symbols, it has collages. This here is a collage, and I think this whole thing's a collage. So you can do a lot of things with Be Funky. And one thing you'll find with your apps is that from one app to another, there might be overlap. Okay, so there'll be tons of apps that say do this effect, okay? So you probably don't need to buy an app that does just that. One other thing about apps is there's different ways that you will save your work when you're done. I almost always save it to my camera roll, so I just have it. But many of the apps let you automatically upload it to Facebook, to Instagram, to Twitter, and a few other kind of services, or to their own gallery where you can share it with everybody who's using that app. I don't really do that. I usually just save it on my camera and then, or on my phone, and then I have it for later. Juxtaposer is kind of like green screen, if you've ever used that before. Basically, you have two pictures. On the one that you want to have on top, so in this case it's Sam, you would kind of cut her out of the picture. And then you put the other picture underneath. And so it's layered. Okay, I love this app. It's called Console Cam, and it takes your picture and it makes it look like the resolution on old computers. Okay, so it's got like the Apple IIe, the PlayStation first one. So these are all different types of computers from our past. Okay, some of those which I remember. Kids probably wouldn't. I love this one. I did pay for this one. It's called Rana. And if you go to Instagram, people do post a lot of their Rana work. But you take your picture, and then it has like a ton of fonts and a ton of colors where you can put your text. But what kind of separates it out from some of the others is it has these little, it's called stickers. And so they're artwork that someone else has already created, so it's very professionally done. So this is a piece of artwork, and that's a piece of artwork, and then I just use my own text. Now, on the link that I gave you, that's going to send you to a Google slideshow. That's what I'm using. And each one of these icons over here are active. So if you click on the Apple, it takes you to the App Store. It tells you about what it costs, what it does, what the ratings are. Okay. What I have found is that the Apple App Store is really hard to use to find things. So when I find something I like, you want to keep track of that. Also, because there are millions of apps and a lot of them do the same thing, a lot of them have like the same name. So sometimes it's really hard to search for a certain thing. Like there's like 5 or 6 different ones called Sketch Me, but I'm going to show you like a specific Sketch Me that if you want to get to it, it's really going to help to have the link. So the same with the Google Play. That would be for the Android phones. Okay, this one's called Retromatic, and it's a green screen kind of app as well. So you would cut out the layer that you want to go in front, and then they have pre-made layers, all these stripes and different things, and then you can add text to it. Okay, I really like this one because it's science fiction-y. You can take a picture and then you overlay these abstract kind of pictures onto your own image. So here is the store we're at right now, and it looks like it's been invaded by a big piece of metal. Again, if you follow, like on Instagram, some artists are doing amazing, cool things with this app. I'm not one of those, but if you really want to freak somebody out and make them think that there's like flying saucers or something, you can do it with this app. I really love this one as well. It's called Waterlog, and it will take your photo and make it look like it's an oil or a watercolor painting. And I've given you 4 examples, but there's literally unlimited ways to change this up depending on what effect you choose, and then you can, there's a bar that you can move to lighten it or darken it. This one I discovered is free today. I already had it on my phone, but just to let you know, it's like a pencil sketch, and there's all different pencil types, like really fine or thick and chunky or chalk, and you can change the colors. There's just many, many different things you can do with this app, and you can see where that would be fun to maybe put in a little card you're making and you want some photos in it, or lots of different ways you could use this. Remember I was saying some of the names are very similar. So this one was called Sketch Me with all one word, and this one's Sketch Me with the blank. Okay, so if you're searching for that in the iTunes store, you're going to find those 2 and then a whole bunch of other ones as well. This one has a lot of different effects, kind of your cartoon kind of thing. The one on the right is kind of like the Hope poster, but you can have all different colors. This one is just down to the bare bones, black and white. This is called Percolator, and this is a really fun app. What it does is it puts it makes this effect with either circles or triangles, or there's many, many different choices. And you can make it abstract like that, or just have it kind of a film over the top. This is similar, only this is some different shapes. This is called Accent Shape, and you can tell I love things with typography on them. So this is one of my favorites here, where it puts a bunch of alphabet. You could do circles within circles or great big dots. Lots of different choices there. This basically makes the circular frame. Okay, it's called Circle. Put your image in a circle. You can frame it up like this, or there's lots of different choices, circles with a little different shapes to them. Tangent. This overlays shapes and patterns and textures, and these were just a couple of different examples. Pop Kick just does vibrant color effects, but it kind of, it's like, I don't know, makes it look shaky, but that's one of my favorite effects as well. FX Photo Studios, again, more textures, effects, and frames. This is like snow, and this is, you know, where it's you focus on a particular area on your picture, and then the rest of it blurs out. And I'm showing you just a few examples, and in all of these apps, there are more effects than you ever would have time to use. Graffiti Me, this one's, the kids love this one, and you can put all different kinds of backgrounds, and then you can also use graffiti type letters on there for your text. I love this one, and I think our people over in the radio station would love it too. So you can take your pictures and make an album cover. There's only, I think, 4 different album covers, but you can change out like the name of the company. So this says Eagle Tech Records. Okay, so Ready for Anything, Eagle Tech Records, and then there's a picture of the Eagle Tech store. This is free. It's a lot of fun. It's a stipple effect, so you just take your picture and it makes it into a bunch of little dots. They can be in color, they can be in black and white. I love this one. It's called the Hope Poster Effect. And again, you can change the theme colors, but then it puts in that word at the bottom like poster. Grunge-tastic. Just makes you look grungy. It's kind of dark. There's more of a zombie look and kind of dark. Okay, this is another one of my really favorite ones. It's called Photofunia, and its effects put your picture inside something else. So this looks like a magazine, art gallery, news. I use this on my icon on my Twitter account. And maybe it's Facebook, but it's a little cup of coffee. Now, there are literally dozens and dozens of these effects in there. This is called my mosaic. So here you would choose a photo that you want the mosaic made out of, and then you choose the photos to create that mosaic, and then it does it. So this is just one section blown up, so you can kind of see little teeny tiny pictures that are repeated over and over to make this. So wouldn't that be fun, like for a kid, like for graduation picture? And this app actually will let you order a poster from its site. So upload all those pictures into the mosaic and make this great big picture of that. Just an idea. Typo pick. This takes your text and then you can rotate it around so it can look flat, or it's not like every other piece of text you would see. So it rotates it. That reminds me, though, that like sometimes it's hard to do some of these things on the phone because it's so tiny. So just one of these pens that you can buy that has a little, I don't know, special rubber thing on the end that will let you manipulate things on your phone screen a little bit easier. Now, if you have an iPad, you know, that's easier too. So Over just lets you put text, your own text, or their artwork. So you can tell this looks nice. I didn't make this. This is their artwork. So they have a whole bunch of these little sayings that you can put on top of your text. Okay, this is where I really like to use my, I don't know what this is called. Stylus? Thank you. On this type drawing. And so you bring up your picture and then you put some text into the app, and then when you start going like this, it will just follow along and put your text there. So on this one, so I just went like Eagle Tech Lend and Learn, and then I just kept doing that. You can have it repeat, or you can have it just finish with your phrase. And on this one, what I did is you can make that picture underneath almost invisible, or you can reduce the opacity. So the text stands out a little bit more. Let me just show you on their website. They've done some cool things. So here, on this one, they probably have, and then they took words so that the photograph disappeared, and it looks like this is all a drawing. So that's kind of cool. I haven't quite got there yet. This is one of my very favorite apps, especially for doing presentations and wanting to put in some unique images. So what you do is you have your image, and then you select a phrase, and then you select a style, and it just covers that image with that phrase, okay? So this is like the Dymo label maker font. You can choose all different kinds of fonts. Your phrases do have to be pretty short, and you can't have spaces between them, I think. That's what it is. But I use this a lot, like for signage when I was in the library. Okay, this one's fun too. It's visual poetry. You pick a picture, and then you copy some text into their text box, and then decide how you want it to look. Like, do you want it to be a cloud? Do you want it to be a heart? Do you want it to be a circle? And then you can change out the fonts and the colors as well. Okay, another one of my favorites. This will animate your text. So this is what's called a GIF, or a GIF. That's kind of popular right now. And you don't have to use image background to use this app, but it makes it kind of unique. And there's just lots and lots of fonts and styles. I think, I don't know, probably 12 or so different styles of this animation. So these are fun to put into text messages. Okay, this is just a GIF app where you take pictures and animate them. So this is, I think, 4 different pictures just running over and over. And this is just 2 pictures going back and forth. That's a GIF. Okay, postogram. This is when this is a service to me. So this is what it looks like. And don't you love getting stuff in the mail? Come on, admit it. You really do. And so here you are, just on your phone. You just have that address built right in. Say, here's the picture. And then 4 or 5 days later, the recipient will get this in the mail. And then I'm going to pass this around because you can pop out this picture, and it'll be just like, just like picture, yeah. Okay, Animoto. I have been using Animoto for a long time. I actually have the paid version because I use it for my holiday card, because I don't write those out anymore. The basic version is free, and anybody's an educator, they used to have education accounts. I'm not sure what that is right now, but you can also do it on the web. You don't have to use the app. So here's a little video that I made with stills I took here a couple weeks ago. So Animoto has, I don't know, a bunch of themes, and then you upload your stills or your videos into that, and then it just makes it. So there's a little video. And Animoto will let you share via Facebook, and if you have the paid account, you can download the movie and save it onto your hard drive. Oops, get out of here. Whoops. Oh, apps like Animoto. So how many of you use PhotoPeach? You've probably heard of PhotoPeach. And Stupaflex is another one that's kind of fun. I've used that at school. Replay is an Android one. Okay, Daily is kind of cool. You could use it as a photo journal, like to take a picture every day. Or you can also use it as a time lapse. So this is one I did just at home, where we were putting a window in. And so I just took a picture every so often, it's kind of from the same perspective, so you could see what it was like. My husband. And you didn't hear me when they were actually putting it in, because it was very scary. Whoops. And Hyperlapse is a time-lapse creator that's made by Instagram. If you have iOS 8 or higher on your phone, you actually have a time-lapse built into that operating system. This is just, I think I had this on for maybe 2 or 3 minutes. The birds in my backyard, and that squirrel that keeps getting up there to eat the bird food. Yeah, it's kind of me against the squirrel right now. But that would be cool, like opening Christmas presents or anything where it just speeds it up and it makes it real cute. So I love that effect. Okay, and this is an app that's called Everyday, and it's created specifically to take a picture of yourself every day. And so this is one that I have been doing since, well, this is 2000, it starts in 2013, but I've actually been doing this for probably four years. So hair color, glasses, a lot of black. But wouldn't this be fun for a kid? Like just have them take a picture of themselves every day? Maybe into a little movie? Not so much for older lady, but you know, it's just a habit. I brush my teeth, get ready to go out the door, take a picture. And this is a new one that I just found last week. It's called 1 Second Every Day. I won't play this whole video, but it just to give you an idea. It's just, I mean, it's just that much a second.
Imagine a movie that includes every day of the rest of your life. For almost 2 years now, I've been recording 1 second every day, so I'll never forget.
So this guy, if you've ever looked at any TED Talks, he actually has a TED Talk about this. And when you open up the app, there's a calendar, and you can see each video for every day. Okay, so there's lots of ways to organize your photos. Of course, you've got, you know, your phone, it's on there. But if you upload your photos somewhere, like Shutterfly and Snapfish, you know, you can make books. And again, if you do Groupon, these are, since you're friends, I'll pass this around. But this is like, it's called Our Selfies. It's me and my husband, so because we take a lot of selfies, or I do. I've used all of these, except I don't use Flickr and SmugMug, but those are some options. But one thing I do use a lot is Google Photos. Anybody here have Gmail? If you have Gmail, you probably don't, you may not realize, but you have access just a ton of other Google stuff, including Google Photo. So that's an app, and it will recognize the photos in your photo album. It'll automatically upload them, and then you can make collections, and it's really easy to share those albums with other people. So this is the album for my Eagle Tech pictures right there. And another thing it does, it's really cool, it has this thing called Assistant. So, and I'm not sure how it determines which things are fun to work with, but like, let's say you went on a trip, and so you took, 15 or 20 pictures in one day. The assistant in like 2 or 3 days will come up and say, hey, look, I made this album for you. And by the way, I also made it into a movie. So it's just kind of fun. See what it comes with. Very easy to share from there. Okay, and this will blow your mind if you have old photo albums. This is an amazing app. It's kind of expensive, but what you do is you just hold your phone over those old crappy albums that you have laying around, and it will scan them and then crop them. So if you've got 3 pictures on a page, you'll have 3 pictures that you can then pull out and do something with. see, we'll just watch this for a second. Is that amazing? Rather than putting it on a scanner, which I did probably 5,000 or 6,000 photos that way several years ago. So this is pretty cool. Okay, and how do you get your photos from one device to another? Well, if you've got iOS devices, there's something called AirDrop, and you can just send them from one device to another. So I have something in my phone, I want it to go to my laptop, I just go to Photo Album. Instead of AirDrop will be just one of the options at the top if everything's opened up. I used to use a app called PhotoSync, and it does basically the same thing. And then the Android, I've got a link here. There's some apps for doing that on your Android. Okay, how much have I spent on apps? Oh, I'm not going to say, because here's Tom, husband. But when I first got my phone, I had an app called Apps Gone Free. And I would... they have tons of apps on there that are awesome. After a year, a lot of them started being the same or the same kind of apps over and over again, so I did get rid of that. But they have a lot of photo apps on there. Photo apps and exercise apps and document scanner apps. But that's something, if you just want to get started with playing around with apps, Apps Gone Free is a great resource. Okay, so go create some images. Does anybody have any questions? Mind blown?
Can I